Hi, this is Lance Moss from youtube.com/LanceMossTV. So, stop on by and check me out. That's youtube.com/LanceMossTV.
Come on in and sit down. You cut the hardcore crew chewing the fat. You cut us shooting the shit. You cut us in the moment.
Last night we saw Seth Rollins challenge John Cena in a title versus title match at SummerSlam, and we haven't really seen that in quite some time.
There's been a few. I can't remember whom, but they always ended up being either one, double disqualification, double count out, and stuff like that. So,
yeah. But the titles never changed hands.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll even go further back. There's been, I don't know how far you guys remember, back in the WWF days, Ric Flair was recognized as the NWA World Champion over the WWF Champion Bob Backlund. So, then they used to do title versus titles, but it never gone anywhere. Again, double count-outs, time limit draws.
Yeah, I knew that WWE had a few others, but again, they weren't memorable. The only one that I can remember is Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6. But now with this match coming up, the big question is, while we're in the moment, Seth Rollins, are we going to see a title change hands?
Will the title change hands? See, here's the problem. When Rollins did that, I wanted to laugh really, really bad. But in this case, is it good for TV? Yes. But is it good for the smarks? Well, smart fans? No. But I would think that this would be an opportunity for the younger guys to shine, like Neville and Lord, who else we know on the roster. But San Jose has smart-ass fans. It says, I'm for the Bay Area. I know this for a fact. So this is good as far as I'm concerned. And for the smart fans, oh no, Rollins should have better competition. Better get used to it, because if there's going to be a change in the WWE, it's what we're looking at now, Rick.
A fair point. And Andy, do we see John Cena becoming a 16-time world title at SummerSlam? World champion, excuse me.
No, I've got an audible feeling Cesaro's going to come into the equation somewhere. I think he's
Cesaro.
Yeah, because I think he's trying to push for some kind of world championship.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Cesaro is actually feuding with Kevin Owens, and I think they're going to have a match at SummerSlam. So I don't think he's going to come into the picture. But you know what? Who else might come in the picture? Joe, and that could be Sheamus, who is right now the current Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, Sheamus has been there. I don't see Sheamus as a regaining the championship like that. I could see him going full reverse. And just think of this, gentleman. The Money in the Bank can challenge for any title, not just for the WWE title. He can end up attacking Ryback and taking that title away from him.
Lance, title versus title at SummerSlam. Do you see this as a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bit of a two-edged sword, if you ask me. I mean, yeah, it'd probably be a good match. Do I think Cena would be healed up enough from that hellacious break of his nose? That's one thing that concerns me. Two, he does not need another damn title run, in my personal opinion, but that's not what Vince thinks, so whatever. It's, like I said, it's a bit of a two-edged sword. I'm not sure at this point.
All right. And you know what? While we are talking about SummerSlam, there is a rumor that Sting has been training very, very hard, and he could reportedly appear at what's now being called the WrestleMania of the summer. Andy, Sting kind of not showing up. What do you think his role would be?
I don't see him coming back to fight again unless he's going to be fighting The Undertaker.
The Undertaker's going to be fighting at SummerSlam as well against Brock Lesnar, and maybe, could we see a confrontation post-match? Joe, what do you think?
I could see Sting getting involved in the match against Undertaker and saving, not saving Brock Lesnar, but, probably just staring at at Undertaker from a distance or from the rafters or something, and just doing like a challenge to him. I think they're going to build it up starting at SummerSlam, so that's what I could see Sting doing. Sting originally had, it was going to be part of a six-man tag match. It was him and I guess Cesaro and somebody else against the Wyatt family. No, correction, it was going to be Sting, Ambrose, and Reigns against the Wyatt family and their new member. So as far as anything, I think they were ready to do that. Sting was reported in the gym. He looks like he bulked up. You know, they said he was actually in perfect shape, and WWE nixed it there. So, you know, you never know. Maybe he will do something to Undertaker at the end of that match with him and Brock. Will Undertaker lose? No, I think they're going to give him that match. But see Sting appear.
Okay. What I was gonna add on to the topic, Joe, is there were reports saying that they're gonna give back Adam Rose to the Leo Kruger gimmick, and he was gonna be the surprising third member to the Wyatt family. Because we all know with Eric Rowan out for 6 months, they figure, well, Leo Kruger was somewhat of a brute back in FCW NXT, and I read this on Inquisitor within the last 2 days. So would this be a move for Adam Rose's gimmick to go back to Leo Kruger? Oh, for the heavens, I hope so. I think if Kruger were to come in...
You know, Lance, let me ask you, Undertaker versus Sting. Now, we've already saw that Sting lost at WrestleMania against Triple H. What happens if he loses again to The Undertaker, which a lot of people foresee that happening?
Well, personally, I think if it does happen, it'll be both guys' last match. Because that's the one match everybody wants to see, and that's the only thing either guy has not done. I honestly can kind of see a way if it's like a draw or something. Like, I don't know, they hit like a hellacious move, say like, I don't know, a suplex off the top rope. It takes both guys out. It ends up like a double count out. Like, it's in a double knockout, referee 10 count in the ring.
Now, this is another question that keeps on going in my mind. This Undertaker versus Sting fantasy match, I guess we could call it, fans have been wanting to see this for years, at least 4 or 5 years that I can recollect. Have we missed the point? Are we at the point of no return where these two, it's not going to be as great as everybody expected it to be? Andy, your thoughts?
They're at the wrong side of 40, really, to have a good match. It's just not going to happen. We're just not going to see a good match from any of the older guys these days. Not unless they're fighting one of the young bucks who can carry the match for them.
And Joe, as you said, Sting is in great condition. Undertaker, he looks pretty good too, but Undertaker, you know, how he looks and how he actually performs when he gets in the ring are two totally different things. What do you see happening in this match?
If it were to happen, I could see Sting doing his trademark moves, the corner splash, the Stinger, Scorpion Death Drop, Scorpion Leg Lock. I could see Sting going all out. I could see Undertaker do a good match, but not exactly his best, like the over-the-top stuff like he used to do. I will see him do the corner pull, the arm twist, and all that stuff, but I don't see it basically going on, being more what we expect. I think this is like maybe, 10, 20 years too late for it to happen. If Sting would have joined back in 2000 when they first grabbed everybody, I believe it would have been a lot better. Maybe by this time they would have had maybe, I don't know, the Brotherhood, if you want to call it that. It would have been Sting, Undertaker, and Kane as a dominant dark force. I just don't see... I don't think it'll be great theatrics. I think it'll be great an attraction, but if you're looking for it to be that all-B match, I would think we're a couple years late. But one thing I also want to bring up, too, going back to the Wyatt family real fast, Wade Barrett's sister, not Barrett.
Bray Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt, thank you. Bray Wyatt's sister got a WWE tryout. Could she be soon Sister Abigail?
You know, and considering they're trying to bring back the Wyatt family angle, that's a very strong possibility. But, you know, let's be honest for a minute. And with her coming in, she's not even going to get, up to the main roster for at least a year. And by then, who knows where that angle, that gimmick's going to go. That could be something totally different by then. But you know what, guys? Let's move on a little bit. I want to go back to WWE Raw for a moment. And we're noticing a strong development in this, what's being called the Diva Revolution. You know, before we used to call the Divas matches a piss breaks, and some of these matches are getting better than the guys. Andy, your thoughts?
I'm enjoying what they're doing, but I just think it's still making a farce of the NXT. I mean, the idea of NXT is the best person. It's like a competition. The people that they think need the push, they'd have say 20 people on the roster, and one person would make it to Raw, and then another person would step up to make 20 people again, and the next good one gets pushed. They seem to be pushing loads of people at the same time, and I think it's too much too soon. They're going to burn themselves out.
Will, the Divas, are starting to come up, and we even saw Naomi suggest that Team Bad is the baddest woman on the planet, not Ronda Rousey. What was your thoughts when you heard that?
Okay, could somebody get the hook? Does anybody got a hook around here? Because that's what it is. Now, given that, let's just say, for example, if all of us had a round table talking about who's the baddest member of Team Bad, I'm going to pick Tamina here, just for sake of it all. But to answer your question, Naomi should have just kept her mouth shut, because Ronda Rousey just had a 34-second fight, people. 34 seconds. Does that mean anything to you? Naomi would not last in a UFC ring, so whatever uttered out of her mouth, she just should have kept it shut. Sorry.
You know, you're right. And we are going to talk about Ronda Rousey in a moment, but I want to kind of keep back to the Divas division and how they've been developing. Lance, what are your thoughts about this new Diva Revolution?
First, thank God, because it was getting pretty pitiful there for a while. And two, it's like I was saying, if WWE needed new blood in their divisions, thank God they're finally doing it. It's a breath of fresh air. It's what they need.
You know, and I absolutely have to agree with you. Joe, when you saw the Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch come in, what was your thoughts when you saw that trio come in?
I said, finally they bring in real women wrestlers. Here are these women who are finally, they're incredible athletes, and they're not pretty girls. They're not, yes, they're attractive, but they're not the Bellas. They're not the other little stampy divas who just romp around. Here are trained women who have experience, who can get it on the ring. Yeah, they need help in the promos, but besides that, they do have the gimmicks. They do have the look. They have the ring presence. They know how to perform. And for once, somebody is giving the Bellas a much-needed defeated streak. Is this going to change? Absolutely, probably. I think when it comes to the title match time, Nikki won't lose that belt. But so far, they've been defeating these Bellas, and I think that's what they need to keep doing. They need to start bringing in these new, fresh faces. They need to bring more NXT members up to the main roster. Finally, it's no longer a piss break.
Yeah, again, I absolutely agree with you wholeheartedly. But now I want to jump back over to the Ronda Rousey situation, because there's been a lot of speculation that when she's done with the UFC, she could be heading over to the WWE. She's even talked about when she wants to retire from the UFC undefeated, which is the way it's looking now is a strong possibility. But she's also even made a few hints of saying that she wouldn't mind going to WWE just to piss off Dana White. Now, is this just kind of keeping her, talking in the media? Or do you think she really plans on heading over to WWE, what she's done with her UFC career? Will, your thoughts?
I'm sorry, I had to take a drink of water for a moment when you said when she's done with the UFC. And let's face it, she has, a 12-0 record right now? I don't know. Looked like when she bitch-slapped Correa, it was just a message saying, I'm the baddest woman on the planet. But let's be honest here. If she were to make that transition to go to the WWE, mind the fact she's not going to be like a Ken Shamrock or Dan the Beast Severn. Now, Can she contend with the Divas? Of course. I mean, she's not going to be like Beth Phoenix or Tamina. She's going to probably have her own style. But the real question is, Rick, going to water down her style? Because remember, she's a fighter, not a wrestler. So time will change. But if she does get that transition, look out, folks.
One thing that worries me Rick, about coming into the WWE, she's, as Will's just said, she's got this undefeated streak. Everybody that's been in front of her, she's whooped ass. Is she really going to come in the WWE and let them basically ruin her, or is she going to win every time she fights? Because basically, she could kick anyone's arse on the WWE roster, male or female, in a legitimate street fight. Are they going to have her lose against Nikki Bella or somebody like that? Because it's just going to be a smack in the face. People are going to think, all these cage fighters couldn't beat her, but somebody like Nikki Bella could whip her arse. I think it's a lot of hot air, a lot of hype, and I don't think it's going to happen. At best, she'll make guest appearances.
Well, you brought up an interesting point, is that she would have to win each and every single match, and we all know that's just not going to happen. Even, the great John Cena loses his matches. Joe, Will mentioned it earlier that she is a fighter but not a worker. Could you see her make that transition, and how hard do you think it's going to be for her?
The athleticism won't be that hard for her because she knows how to get in the ring. She'll have that, killer instinct. And if we've seen Ken Shamrock, we've seen Dan Severn, we've seen Brock Lesnar, these people actually have, transitioned from fighter to professional wrestler. So is this something that I see maybe would she have a hard time? Not really. But you got to remember, the first thing they're going to have her do is just be this public appearances. She's going to be like, oh, look, it'll be like when Mr. T was training for his WrestleMania 1 match. You'll just see a whole bunch of training sessions and vigilance of little vigils of her doing these training films and getting ready and being trained. I would say if she did transition from MMA to professional wrestling, I'm going to say this. Paul Heyman has to be her manager. Because imagine, he has the baddest guy on the planet, Brock Lesnar. He's going to have the baddest woman on the planet in Ronda Rousey. That, I think, will be impressive.
I agree there because, yeah, she's brilliant at what she does. She's rather attractive, but her mic skills are terrible. You can learn mic skills, but she comes over, she's obviously not, but she comes over when she speaks as a bit of a timid, shy person. Even in the Fast and Furious 7, she was a very quiet spoken role, and that won't wash really with the WWE fans, so she's got a lot of work to do there on her mic skills.
I have to agree with you there. Again, this is all about the transition. She does seem, even on the mic, when she does her interviews...
do you think she could come in as like a female trainer stroke motivator, like they've got Fit Finlay and so on, for the wrestlers in the back? Do you think she could come and train NXT people?
I see where you're going with it, but the WWE probably wouldn't want her for that. WWE would want her to be on front of the camera. They want her to be that draw because she is a huge draw. Even wrestling fans go watch her when she was on. I went and watched her matches because she is a rarity. And when you're a rarity, you're a draw. You don't want to keep them behind the scenes. Lance, would you agree with me or disagree with me on that?
I'd 100% agree with you. Except for, y'all mentioned one thing that you got to remember. Y'all, when y'all were talking about Dan the Beast Severn and Ken Shamrock, before they ever got into MMA, they were actually trained in professional wrestling. But definitely, she is definitely a draw. I mean, shoot, I tried to stay up Saturday night and watch her fight, but, well, it got a little too late for this old country boy.
And you know what? I can't blame you. I had to watch it on YouTube the next night.
I watched it on Facebook the next morning.
I sat up like a fool till 6:30 in the morning to watch 34 seconds of, oh my God.
She just beat the hell out of her. But Ronda Rousey is also a trained wrestler because most of her moves are submissions.
To coin a phrase from one of my paranormal friends when we were talking about Ronda Rousey yesterday, it's quite funny. He says, when the bell sort of sounded and it's like, right, are the competitors ready? Fight. He says it was like a bulldog with a cable zip tie around its bollocks.
you know what, Rick? I've got to say this. I don't see Ronda Rousey going into NXT. I see her being privately trained by the best, and then them bringing her out like she doesn't know how to wrestle, and they'll put her in a ring, say with Stephanie. Like, remember they had that little rivalry in WrestleMania?
Yeah,
Or
something's got come of that.
Yeah, and then boom, here she comes with all these wrestling moves. You will see it explode. One problem with this, it's you got to remember, people that are like proclaimed the baddest people on the planet, you know, Mike Tyson, Brock Lesnar, you know, Ronda Rousey. You can't do much with them because they're a great instant sensation, but then it's like, okay, you can't pull her in a match with a Bella.
Do you think they could have her as one of the referee/stroke enforcers at WrestleMania?
It's very possible because they are WWE reportedly still wants Rousey for WrestleMania 32, and the question is if she's going to be an enforcer. I more think the way they were pushing it last year at WrestleMania 31 is Stephanie versus Ronda Rousey, and of course, again, we're back to the same concept of, you know, Ronda Rousey being this unstoppable fighting force. I can see the WWE giving her the win because it's a celebrity match at that point in time. And
the only thing, sorry, Rick, the only thing that worries me about Ronda Rousey ever coming in the WWE is, if you check the stats, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to say is accurate, but I'm not far wrong. I'm probably 98% accurate here. After her last fight, a 12th win, they said she'd only actually fought in 12 fights. She'd only actually done 17 minutes. They're all 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute, 5 seconds. Whoever she fights, if she doesn't beat them in like the first 2 minutes, people are going to be on yawn mode. They're going to be happy to see Ronda Rousey in a ring, but they're going to think, what a crock of shit. She's killed the hardest women on the planet in 30 seconds, and she can't put Stephanie McMahon down.
With Ronda Rousey, they got to really think how they're going to push it with her character. And you know, again, you don't want to job the person, you know, but at the same time, you don't want to make it too powerful that she's winning the Divas title in her first appearance on Raw either.
Yeah, you know what, Joe? I absolutely have to agree with you there. And it's going to be hard. You know, and this is what we've been talking about for the past 10, 15 minutes, and I think we're going to wrap it up here. But now I want to know what the fans think. Do we see Ronda Rousey coming to the WWE, and can she make that transition? Make sure you put your comments in the comments section below, and of course, make sure you follow us over at Facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And please, take that 5 seconds out to subscribe to us at YouTube.com/HWR Show. We got some tributes over there. We, of course, have these podcasts and much, much more. Right now, we have my sidekick. He's my partner. He's the son of a bitch, Andy. Andy, where can one face you at?
Yep.
Where can one find you at?
Yeah, they want to face him all right with his comments sometimes.
Yeah, they can find me or face me at www.stokehaunted.com. And just before I go, very quickly, I've just uploaded on my Stoke Haunted YouTube page Andy Weatherall bio. It's some of the team have interviewed me and asked me various questions, and I do actually mention the guys on Hardcore Wrestling Radio, but it's worth watching just for somebody asks me a question of my thoughts on Facebook.
Oh, well, you know, Andy, with you being the son of a bitch, I can only imagine. I'm going to go over and I'm going to check that video out right now, right after we get off the show. We also have the classic wrestling manager, Joseph Knight. Joe, you got a big event coming up on August 29th, Summer Bash Shoot. Tell everyone about it.
Yep, August 29th, Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be Summer Bash 2 in the Boonton Elks Lodge in Boonton, New Jersey. You know, come on down. It's going to be a really action-packed show. We even going to have the Hardcore Wrestling Radio host here, Rick Head, co-commentating with me and doing a live HWR show. The guys will be invited, of course. So we're gonna have a good time with that. You guys can find me on Facebook at facebook.com Joseph Knight Manager. You can also follow me on Twitter at JKnightCWA. If you want to follow the Classic Wrestling Association, my promotion, we're on ClassicWrestlingAssociation.com and on Facebook at Facebook.com Classic Wrestling Association.
All right, and again, Joe, I cannot wait for August 29th. I think we're all gonna have a blast. And we would love to welcome back the Bay Area MVP, known as Will. Will, you're over on SoundCloud on In the News. Why don't you tell everyone about it?
All right, took some time to be back here in the moment. I've been gone for a while, but doing my own show on SoundCloud.com. It's called In the News. You can find my archives over there. All the good stuff, and that's on SoundCloud.com/HWR show. And just glad to be here. I miss being here on the segment with you guys. It's been long, but, I'm on vacation, and, it's glad to see that I've been back, but glad to be back.
All right, indeed. And last but not least, we have the incomparable Lance Moss, and he's over at youtube.com/Lance Moss TV. If I can talk tonight. Lance, why don't you tell everyone all about your channel?
It's, like you said, Lance Moss TV. It's youtube.com/Lance Moss TV. Dang it, you're passing it to me, Rick. Anyway, I've got album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants every Wednesday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, whatever the hell it is everywhere else. I have Lance Moss TV and Friends. It's a live broadcast. We never know what the hell we're going to talk about until the week of, so there's that. And hit me on Twitter. It's at Lance Moss TV. Don't forget to subscribe.
All right, we will do that. And, of course, for everyone here, I am your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Thank you for listening to this edition of In the Moment. Make sure you follow us at any one of our locations, whether it's YouTube, Dailymotion, and now SoundCloud.com under the name HWR Show. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.